Hi, welcome back. I don't really know how to put this lightly. I have zero concept of financial literacy, at all. Money, I'm terrible with it. How am I ever gonna buy a house? I don't know. How am I ever gonna buy a car? I don't know. How am I ever gonna pay back my student loans? I don't know. I'm really bad with money. This was solidified today when I randomly just decided that I wanted to go through my bank statements and just see all the stuff that I've unfortunately spent my money on. So anyways, I was going through my bank statements and I saw a single $50 withdrawal from my bank account that just really sparked this entire concept for a video, which I don't even know if it's a good idea for a video, but hi, I'm filming it anyways. And that is just dumb things I've bought during quarantine or wasted my money on. Anyways, as you could probably guess by the title, this $50 withdrawal from my bank account was to buy a bag of flour. So at the beginning when the lockdown orders first went into place here in California, everybody panicked and everybody collectively decided to start baking, so all of the flour and all of the yeast had sold out of the stores. I have food allergies, therefore I do a lot of my cooking and baking myself. So flour is an essential thing for me, I have to have it. Also, I'm a carb lover, so flour is really important in the foods that I choose to cook for myself. So conveniently around this time, I had completely run out. I really couldn't have timed it any better. So I'm calling around to all these different stores, I'm calling friends, weird distant relatives I'm friends with on Facebook, just anybody I've ever met, I'm harassing them to try and see if they have any flour. And everybody's kind of in the same boat as me. Everybody just doesn't have any, or they have some, but they're not gonna give it to me because they had a hard enough time getting it. So there was a couple weeks where I was struggling. I couldn't make any kind of breads, I couldn't make any kind of baked goods. Also, I was trapped inside, so that's literally all I wanted to do. One night I was sitting in my bed and my phone lights up, and it was a message from one of my friends who I had previously contacted asking if they had any flour. They sent me a listing on Craigslist for a 5-pound bag of flour for $50. First of all, I've since learned it's never a good idea to buy things from scalpers, but secondly, don't buy food off of Craigslist, I don't think so. My friend obviously sent this to me in a joking manner, kind of haha, here's some flour for you. But my little walnut brain actually took that seriously. And I was like, oh my god, I can finally get some flour. I can finally make some biscuits or cookies or literally anything. The possibilities are endless with flour. So I decided to reach out to the seller, and within about an hour or so, we worked out a meeting time and an address. I didn't ask where the flour came from. I wasn't even thinking of the fact that I was paying $50 for a 5-pound bag of flour, which normally sells for $5 max. So the date and the time for the exchange happens, and I drive up to the meeting location, which is in a church parking lot, which I don't know if that makes it more comforting or less comforting, because why is there somebody selling bags of flour in a church parking lot? So many questions. So this person comes out of the church and they're holding with them not a sealed 5-pound bag of flour, but a Ziploc bag with just a bunch of flour in it that's labeled 5 pounds all-purpose flour, which obviously sends off alarms in my head because I'm oh, this has been tampered with. And even if they haven't done anything to it, which I'm sure they didn't, they breathed on it. And in the midst of a pandemic, I don't think I like that. I'm in too deep at this point. So I just hand him the $50 and he hands me the bag of flour and we go on our way. If you're wondering if I used the flour, you bet I did. I used every bit of that flour. I actually have a picture with it. If I can find it, I'll put it here. Anyways, in other food stories, I'm very proud to say that I've only Postmated one time during this entire pandemic. I've taken the time to cook a lot for myself. It's been great. But the one time I did Postmate something for myself, it was about a month into lockdown, and I just really wasn't feeling like cooking for myself.
Also, I wanted to feel like my dollars were stimulating the local economy, you know what I mean?
I open up Postmates, I go to Chipotle, I build my usual burrito bowl, which is a sofritas and guac. I believe it's usually $7.50 or $8.50, somewhere in that range, maybe $9, I don't really know. Somehow after the cost of the food, the taxes and fees, the delivery charge, and the tip, my singular burrito bowl was $22. It just hurts my heart to think that I spent $22 on a Chipotle burrito bowl that also I ate a third of and I had to throw the rest of it away. You know, especially now that we're in month, I don't even know of the pandemic. You know, I think of that and I'm damn. I really wish I had that $22.
I'm glad that I was able to stimulate the local economy again.
But it wasn't worth it. 0 out of 10, do not recommend. Shifting away from food to entertainment, in the beginning of the pandemic, I consumed a lot of media, from either streaming services or video games. Animal Crossing was a huge one. I literally played like 400 hours at that game. Like, I was always looking at a screen basically for like months straight. It really has taken a toll on my eyesight. One night, I was really bored and I was kind of tired, so I decided to download Mario Kart on my Switch because I wanted to play online with people. So I paid $60 for the game. So by the time I got everything done and the game downloaded, I was too tired to play it, and I still haven't played it. Like, it's still just sitting on my dock. I should probably play that game. Also, I bought a 1-year subscription to like Food Network streaming service. It's a pretty solid streaming service. The only issue is a lot of the classes and recipes have meat and dairy in them, so I also used it for like 2 days and then just decided to forget about it as well. So another quick thing in the entertainment sphere that I recently just bought was the Mulan live action on Disney Plus. I paid for like the premiere access to watch it. I watched like the first 4 minutes of the movie, then I fell asleep. And honestly, to make matters worse, I've never even watched the original animated version of Mulan. Everyone was talking about it and I wanted in on the fun. The last thing wasn't directly because of quarantine, but I do think it was a result of quarantine, and particularly because I think that not leaving the house for like 3 months and just basically watching TV for like 3 months made my brain into a literal peanut. I basically have lost all of my capacity for higher level thinking. I've kind of made a commitment to myself where I am not going to buy new electronics unless my old ones are literally falling apart or not working. Like, I want to live more sustainably, and I think that's a really good place to start, but I love a good Apple event. So when the Apple Watch Series 6 was announced, I of course was watching the event. I was so excited for the Apple Watch Series 6, but in the back of my mind, I knew that despite all the fancy new features and the blood oxygen reader and everything like that, I would not be getting it because my Series 3 was working just fine. The literal day that the Apple Watch Series 6 was available in stores, I woke up and did my normal routine, which is watering my garden, exercising, showering, and getting ready to do all of my online work for the day. When I got out of the shower, I put my Apple Watch back on my wrist and it was not turning on. Obviously, with the activity tracking and the stand hours, you know, you need your Apple Watch to be working and functioning so you can log in your stand hours. Again, I've made a previous video talking about that. I'm kind of like freaking out, and I just go on my phone and I look up Best Buy and I see that the Apple Watch Series 6 is in stock. So I mosey into the store, and probably 10 minutes later, I'm walking out with an Apple Watch Series 6, which is replacing my suddenly broken Apple Watch Series 3 that I had previously. I get home, I'm loving it, I'm playing with all the new features, it's great. It's a nice cute blue color, see that? It's fantastic. For some reason, I throw my old Apple Watch on the charger, maybe to see if it would still work. I don't even know why at this point, because I just spent $430 on a new one. And so while I'm doing that, I catch a glimpse of behind my nightstand where the power block plugs into the wall, and I see that the power block had been somehow removed from the wall. So I plug it in, I put my old Apple Watch on the charger, surprise! It was just dead. If this would have happened before quarantine and my brain just rotting to nothing, the first thing I would have done before going out and buying a new Apple Watch is plug in the old one and see if it's dead. But for some reason, again, because I've lost all of my critical thinking skills, I didn't even think to do that. I just went out and bought a new one. If you're gonna ask me if I'm returning to the Apple Watch Series 6, no, I'm not. No. I'm like not that person to return something. I just feel weird when I do it. I don't know why. I guess now I just have like an extra one laying around for when this one inevitably breaks. I don't really know. I've been filming for a shockingly long time. I had 10 items on this list, but I'm honestly gonna cut it off now. Really, I just wanted to tell the flower story. So yeah, that's this week's video. Apologies in advance if it's a little bit of a snooze fest. I am going to be out of town this week, so I really want to try to get this video filmed and edited before I leave town, in case I don't have a reliable internet connection to upload it. I hope you enjoyed whatever I was able to throw together, and if you did, and you aren't already, make sure you're subscribed and turn on your post notifications. I promise you my videos will not show up in your subscriptions feed if you don't press this button. Like, I see the back-end analytics works. Anyways, aside from all of that, thank you so much for watching. I will see you next week with a new video. All right, bye!